Hey everybody, welcome back to Going Ballistic with Jim Bob. Jim Bob here in the undisclosed ballistic ranch in communist Illinois. So today we're going to do a little 40 caliber. So I got a full-size duty gun Glock 22 and I've got 3 rounds in it. Critical duty, 175 grain, 180 grain HST, and 180 grain Winchester Ranger T. 3 of the most popular, I think, law enforcement rounds. My wife, their agency uses a critical duty. Mine uses a Ranger T. I homemade some ballistic gel, being a mad scientist. I have another one. I made this. I accidentally ripped it there. This is by no way going to be FBI standard, but I thought I'd do some bear gel with water jug in the back. And then I have another block that I made is about as dense as AOC. So it should work really well. But I will put jeans over it. So hopefully I can put 3 rounds in this itty bitty little block here and just see some sort of bullet expansion and see how much it'll travel through the water jugs. Sometimes it's really not how much they expand, but how hard they actually really hit you to put you down. It's kind of always been my thought. So I'm gonna put my ears on and go from there. So I got a professional college student is my cameraman, which I'm really impressed to have. This is costing me an arm and leg, being how I'm sponsored by myself. So let's see what happens. So critical duty first. Well, I'm gonna make the gun safe and let's go see what happened here. I could see a red polymer tip in that one, but we can definitely see where it went in here. Got a little bit of expansion, but those are not known to expand because they're barrier blind. That's a pretty good number here. Here is the polymer tip. Hole there. And we have a projectile. In the second jug. No damage on the third jug. So it only went through 2 jugs. So apparently it didn't penetrate as far as I thought it would, but that looks really nice for expansion. But we'll see how that works once we put clothing over it.
When?
Okay, so we're back. So we went through 2 jugs, obviously, with the critical duty. It did work pretty well through bear gel. Now the next round is going to be the 180 grain HST. I'm trying to put, this block is really short. I'm going to try to get another round, aim a little bit higher. But the thing is, I want to see is after going through the gel, how much energy do they have left? So that's what I'm doing with the water jug. So we'll just kind of go from there, all right? So here we go, 180 grains of HST. Wow, that hit hard. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Man, that knocked the shit. Oh, wow, look at the difference in this. Seriously, massive, rapid expansion. Look how big that is. Just massive expansion. I'm sure there's no round in that, but got a really nice exit hole.
Hold this up to the light.
Two jugs, and I have no idea where the round went. I don't think, is it in here? Yep, it is. It is so hard to capture rounds. Oh, look at that, boys. That is a nasty, nasty looking round. Only went through 2 jugs. It didn't really do any more damage to the jugs on exit, but the amount of expansion and damage in the wound cavity is, you can't even screw with that. That's just nasty. Okay, well, we're going to do the Winchester Ranger T next. Okay, well, that HST was pretty nasty. Them guys know how to really make a round. So now we're going to do the 180 grain Ranger T series. So we'll see how this goes out. So hopefully it'll work as good as the HST. All right. Just real quick, look at the front impact of that HST compared to the critical duty. Look how big that is. As soon as it hit, it just opened up immediately. I mean, there's a lot to be had with that. So I just seen that when I kneeled down. I was like, oh my God. So looks like a Christmas star. So, all right, 180 grains of Ranger T. Whoa, that baby hit hard. Gun's clear. So that hit pretty hard too. So let's see what we got. Should be this one here. Wow, blew a piece of wood out of something. So I'd say those two are extremely comparable. Blew the bottom out of this one.
See your round right here.
Got the round?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that?
In this jug.
Oh, in the jug. It did shed a crumb of jacket there. That gel's making them things shoot pretty low. They were on the edge of it. Holy moly. Man, that thing peeled back all the way to nothing. Wow, that's horrible looking. Look how sharp these talons are, though. I'm telling you right now, you can slice your fingers with those. Where they get the T-series. So, still, man, that's just horrible looking. It didn't get as big as the HST, but it peeled back so far. But still, all 3 rounds went through only 2 jugs. Really, there's no more damage on any of the other jugs at all, compared to going through the gel, compared to just shooting a jug. So yeah, look how far back that peeled. That's all the way back. Any more, it would have lost his jacket. So that's pretty impressive. But so the wound cavities. Try to get it up to the light here. You can see more of a star on the Ranger T than the HST, but look how big those are. My gel block's falling apart, but here's the I'd say the HST's got a bigger cavity. Not much, but a little bit more. But all right, these are 11 3/4 inch long blocks too, if anybody wants to know. So, all right, well, now we're gonna set up for the big test.
Go.
Okay, so we're back. So now I've loaded up my duty weapon here. I have critical duty. Then it'll be HST again. And then it'll be Ranger T. And if there's room, I got a bonus in there, Spear Gold Dot 180 grain, which is another very popular round in law enforcement. My main thing was testing the first 3. So now we have this ballistic block that I made last night, early yesterday afternoon actually. This one is extremely dense. It's probably more dense than AOC. I suspect if this goes through there, it's only going to hit one jug, because this is probably closer to 25% gel. And I got my daughter now is way too big for these jeans, and I always keep this stuff for barrier tests. So I just got 2 layers of jean in front of it. So instead of shooting bare gel, because we all know hollow points expanding in bare gel, now we have a clothing layer in front of it. And by no means this is FBI standard. This is my own standard here on that, but I just kind of want to see what it does without using meat targets. So been a while. I did a video, wrapped up, busy, broke like everybody else, so I wanted to get one done for the end of the year. So let's see what happens. So all right, I'm gonna put my ears on. God forbid if I do any safety violations. All right, so critical duty up first. See what happens through the clothing barrier and the AOC gel block. Okay. Yep. It just barely nicked. Didn't do a whole lot, but in its defense, it attempted to expand, this is exactly what I expected out of that round. They don't normally open up, but they hit usually pretty hard. So I'm going to set this back up. Now we're going to go to the HST, which I do anticipate a good performance out of. I hold those up to a pretty high standard, actually. I suspect the HST will go through and probably do a pretty good number on that jug. Hopefully I can get, I need to shoot aim a little higher. Okay. HST. Safe. Wow. I knew this would do this. It did not. Wow, it did not hit the first jug. But look at that going through the jeans. There is absolutely no way you're going to find another round that performs like that through clothing. That is absolutely perfect. So what do we have for impact here? That's where it went in. Look at the size of the star compared to the critical duty. Can we see anything through the light? Yeah, it's like a flute. I overcooked this on accident when I was remelting. Kid distraction. I turned around. Oh God, I smell something burning. Whole house stunk all night long. Old lady mad at me. That's why it's so discolored. So my bad. I think we're going to have room in this block to do my special bonus round. Yay. All right. So now we have the Ranger T will be next. Oh, did I fucking... You go and pause that. I'm gonna redo it. Okay, we're back. I shot it a smidgen low and it shot out the bottom. I'm trying to get a whole row across here without screwing this block up, but that's when I peeled out of the second jug. It was stuck in the front of the second jug. So I'm gonna try to shoot a little bit better this time. I'm trying to get 4 rows across, and my hands are slick from the cooking spray all over me. All right, try this again here. Ranger T. All right, that looks like a good shot. Safe. See where we're at here. Yeah, there's where it went in. It's pretty good, pretty good looking. But I don't see any damage or anything. Did it go out to the side or anything? Shoot down? Oh, it's stuck in the gel. It's stuck in the gel. Well, we're not going to dig that out right now, but this is about 11 7/8 inches long. So just using my calculated eyeballs, this thing probably only went maybe 10 inches in. So we'll set this back up here real quick, and we'll use that 180 grain gold dot. I'm actually surprised that didn't do a little, didn't go in a little further. I'm actually surprised about that. But like I said, this gel block is extremely dense. This was going to be the real test for some of these here on penetration wise, because not always penetration is the number one thing in a bullet, so you can hit the vital organs, but sometimes you need to see too on how hard they actually impact you when they hit you. So for the stopping power or whatever. So here's the 180 grain gold dot. Wipe my hands off. God, they're greasy. All right. Gun's empty. I can't hang on. God, my fingers are so greasy. I'm gonna have to shoot that one again. Yeah, it did the same. It hit a little low, but it did the same. I'm gonna do one more. You can go on and pause it. It won't cut it.
Go ahead.
So I put one more gold dot in there. I can't see where I'm wanting to go for the lines across, so I'll figure out a point of impact. So I'll do one more. That was a good hit. Gun's clear. It's exactly where I wanted it. I can see it from here. All right. Wow. Okay. Didn't come out. It stopped at the edge though. Right there. Try to get some. That's exactly where I wanted that. I was trying to stack these, but it's hard to see where you're shooting when you're. That's a nice little deal there. If this was 10% gel, I'd almost guarantee you this would be 15, 16 inches of penetration. I'd almost bet my life on it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bonus, because everybody knows that watches me, I'm always about a bonus. So I'm going to try to put one up in this area right here. So I'm going to grab something different now.
Go.
Okay, so I got barely a little room left, and I'm all about bonuses. So I'm going to do one more. So I got a 9mm HST. This one's standard pressure. I didn't bring a plus P with me. I just got a random box of stuff in there, and I'm going to be shooting this out of a G45. If I got enough room, I have a critical duty 9mm. I think they're like a 135 grain. I think is what they are. And I'll shoot it. Both of these are still standard issue in a lot of police departments. The critical duty, I probably won't do very well, but the HST should do pretty good. So go from here. Okay. All right. Ooh, look, HST looks like it went through my dense block here. Possibly. And where it went. There's jean fabric. Oh, there it is. Wow. Here's a little bitty 09 that just trucked on through. All right. Well, let's set this back up here. The camera's still rolling. I'm going to shoot another HST through there, though. I think that one skimmed through. I don't think it went all the way through the gel at all. I'm running out of places to hit here. So I'm going to do the critical duty first. Since we're here. Right there. Okay. All right. Try to get that right under that hurt. All right, gun's empty. Huh, it actually opened up. I'm actually impressed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this block around, okay? And I'm going to shoot those two again because I got room there. We already done what we could do with the 40, and it was all about 40 anyway, so we're going to go from here. I have plenty of room now. Oh, that one got hit. It just barely poked a hole in it. Okay. Let me pause it here. And
Go.
Okay, so I turned the block around because there's room on the other side to see what's going to happen. So I got HST again, then I got a critical duty, and I did, if I got room, I got a gold dot, which is a 124 grain plus P, the gold dot is. My experience with gold dots have not been very good, so see what happens here. So we'll do the federal first. All right. All right. Oh, let's see what happened here. Should be in the block. I'd almost bet on it. Wow, look how big that got. Oh, there it is. Look how big that wound track is. That's just horrible. Look how good that spiraled. You get a side view of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's massive.
Wow.
That's actually, and I'm a 40 guy, but that might be bigger than the 40. Wow, that was big. Okay. We're going to be hitting rounds here in a minute, so I'm going to have to come up here. That's just huge. Okay, let's set this back up. I knew that block was going to be extra super dense when I made that. And these jeans are starting to barely get wet, so that's going to really impact the efficiency of these rounds. So, all right, there's a crease there. So I think the critical duty is next, if I remember correctly. See what happens here. All right. You got it there. I got to get this out of there. You can pause it. Okay, critical duty, 9mm. perfect shot placement. Finally. Did not go through, even deemed a barrier blind, but it still wouldn't go through my AOC dense gel. But I did see, look at that, the polymer tip. It was trying to poke through. There it is. It went all the way to the edge. Right there. There's the polymer, the rest of the polymer tip. I'll be darned. Okay. Did it expand? Man, this stuff's tough. It did open up a little bit. I'll give it that. Normally they don't. So now we're going to try here because that's all I got left. And we're going to do the Plus P gold dot, which may cause controversy on the internet, but I have had horrible experiences with gold dot of not doing anything in 9mm, even though they're so sought after. That's just my own personal experience through meat and bones. Water and gelatin, everything opens up, but when you hit hard barriers, they don't. So I need, okay. It's so hard to see where I'm going. All right. Gun's clear. It looked like a good shot. Placement anyways, yeah. Wow, it went through the gel. So one of two things happened. It didn't open up or it expanded and it was this horrible, nasty round. Not in here. Is it stuck somewhere in the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I stand corrected on Spear Gold Dot 9mm. I've never had one do this. That's textbook. Okay. Wow, that did absolutely perfect. That's the first one I've ever shot that did that in 9mm through clothing and a dense barrier. So I'm thoroughly impressed with that. Good thing, because I just bought 1,000 rounds of them a few months ago. So, okay, I'm happy. Well, we're going to call it a break. All that nasty wounds there, but we're going to dig these rounds out and pull them out and have a follow-up. All right, guys. Picture for the... Hey, everyone. I'm back at home here. My hands are thawed out now. If anybody ever notices, when my hands get cold, when it's wintertime outside, I don't shoot very well. I had too much frostbite. My fingers don't work. But anyways, so to wrap up, today's deal was something different I've never done before. Was I made ballistic gel. You see the one that was nice and gold. That was actually my first attempt. It turned out perfect. My other one that was a little bit darker. I made it purposely way dense. I didn't want 10%. It was probably on the lines of 20 to 25%. The one that was like golden, it was, I'm gonna guess 15%. That's the way I want it. I don't ever take a gel test too serious because I like meat and bones. Y'all know me, but I wanted to try it just to do it. It was fun. The reason the other one was so dark, I got distracted on the remelting process on my stage 2 of it. Kids yelled at me and I went into the other room and forgot the stove was halfway cranked up remelting. I was dealing with the situation like, oh my God, I can smell it burning. Shit, ran back in there, etc. But it still worked out fine. I had results today I didn't think I would expect. These are what I normally expect out of Spear Gold Dot 9mm Plus P 124s. They don't ever work, ever. So today, for me, they don't work shooting through bones, etc. They just FMJs. But today, going through the genes and the gelatin, 40 cal 9. Absolutely, you can't ask for anything better than that. So is it engineered that way for gel and genes or what? But this is perfect. Critical duty. Never been a fan of. If you watch my old videos, don't ever do nothing. Today, I actually opened up. They don't get very big. They're not supposed to. They work great. This is what my wife carries in her duty gun. This thing worked absolutely perfect. This is a 40 caliber gold dot. Just perfect. The HSTs. I don't think anybody can engineer a bullet any better than these. It don't matter, 9, 40, 380, 45. These things just, every time you shoot them, they're perfect. The 9mm, when you go through the barriers, man, they really shrink, but they still work. It gets small. It's Ranger T. It didn't open up super big because this was a super dense block, but it tried. But man, the talons on the side of this thing are just nasty. This one here was peeled back. I've never seen a Ranger T do this. Peeled back so far, it almost lost its jacket. Almost. It's all the way peeled back. Nasty. Another one. But pretty impressed. But HST, look how perfect that is. They engineer these things, they just look perfect every time they open up. And they're so consistent. That's what's important. So I'll eat some crow on the critical duty and the Spirit Gold Dot and 9mm on today's test. Through the gene and gel, they perform absolutely flawless. So I'll eat crow on that one. But about all I got for you guys. I hope you kind of enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun today. We spent half a day out there and it was cold. Had a coworker come out there. We sighted in a rifle, etc. Just had fun. It was just guy day. But I just wanted to show these results to everyone, how much difference the expansion rate is compared to meat and bones, and then putting a layer of gene in front of something with gelatin. It's just not the same as hitting meat and bones compared to, gel, which it serves a purpose. It'll show the expectations, what it's supposed to do. Had fun, had a good time with it. It was amazing on how much energy they lost after 11 3/4 inches. That's what those blocks were. When they come out, they would just poke a hole in a jug. So they really dump a lot of energy in there when they expand open like that. When we just did the other test, you would only get 2 jugs. That was it on all the rounds. It didn't matter what round you had in there. So it just, if whatever ammo you choose that's best for you, available in your area, test it. Don't be scared to shoot a box of 20 rounds. Make sure it cycles through your gun. Put it through different scenarios. Water jugs, put some clothes on it, put a jacket on it. Meat, whatever that you can do that's affordable, of course, for you. Make sure it works. And then not only so much of just how big it expands, but one thing that I always look at when I do like water jug tests, was even if I just put a pair of clothes over it, is how hard does that round impact the initial jug? To me, that's says a lot. If it just get a little bit of an explosion and it goes through 3-4 jugs, you know, it's like, well, yeah, you got the penetration in, but the initial impact, especially if you carry a smaller caliber, like, you know, like a 380, 9mm is the most common, but it's a smaller diameter round. How hard does that impact that person that you just hit? Because how many people we see on the street, I didn't even know I was shot. And a lot of people like, how's that even possible? Probably because it doesn't have enough energy to do anything. Where you get a larger round, like 40 and 45, they just, after you shoot these and you feel the weight difference, I mean, it's huge. And I'm not saying not doing a caliber debate. They both are extremely effective. I'm just saying, get something that's got a lot of energy when it hits. They know they're hit. Okay, but penetration is goal one. Expansion, obviously, you got to hit those organs. But yeah, just find the ammo that you like, that's available, and it works. It feeds through your weapon, and it's consistent on expansion. You don't want one round to do this, 2 rounds don't do that, something uniform. I've never been a 1 caliber fits all kind of guy, but I think you can't really beat a federal HSD. I think it don't matter what you put them in, they just always work, and they always work the same. A little bit smaller, 9mm, a little bigger than 40. I mean, there's a massive size difference when you compare these two. And this was through barrier. This one's maybe a little over 1/2 inch. This thing here at best is 7/16, and this is a 9. They're always smaller. When you go through a barrier, they shrink because it's a smaller round. So, but here's a critical duty in 9mm. It's well, let me see here. I'll just do a real quick. It's right at 7/16 inch of so they shrink. They do. So just a kind of on the fly deal here. So here's a 40, just since we're comparing here. Through barrier. This is a very tight 5/8 of an inch, where you get the perfect expanding one. You're going to be at 11/16 of an inch, and that was just through gelatin with clothing. So they're all different. They all work different. So whatever you decide, what caliber, brand, whatever, man, shoot your carry ammunition, please, and make sure it functions, make sure it expands or performs to your expectations. Don't just buy something just because you've seen something on YouTube. Oh man, this guy did gelatin, this ain't work, and never shoot it. Shoot your ammo. So that's all I got for you guys. So I may not do another video unless we get some warm weather in the near future, and just I got a lot going on. So I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and a great Christmas. So I'll see you guys on the flip flop. Take care, train like your life depends on it, and I'll talk to you on the flip flop. See you.